Just in time for the traditional morning cough. Sandy, how are you? How is everything? Hey, Tom. Hare Krishna, my friend. Rowena, how are you? Rowena says, chat, evening from Australia. Good morning from the States.
Shiki Auto Stores tiene el auto usado perfecto.
Sorry, guys. Sissy, how are you? Everyone's saying good morning. Welcome in, guys. Gotta find my shoes. So today's a big day for me, guys. Today I have Dr. Sheila Patel. We step outside of, been talking an awful lot about Course in Miracles on my live stream. That's my, part of my path. I don't make a distinction between yoga and A Course in Miracles. Course in Miracles is another expression of yoga. Yoga means to join, to bring together. Course in Miracles is that realization that we are already together, and it's done through the practice of forgiveness. So a lot of people want to make that distinction. A lot of people come by and, people do people stuff. Hey, Marlon, how are you? Let's find that shoe. You hit the snooze today? I was this close to hitting the snooze. All right, hold on, guys. Shoe number 1. In honor of our friend Charlie, I'm going to put on my right shoe first. Did I miss Sniper? Hey, Sniper. Morning, my friend. So I love talking to Course in Miracles, but not exclusively. As you guys know, I love talking meditation. I love talking breath work. I love talking all aspects of yoga. And I love talking sleep. It's so essential. It is essential. Sebastian, my friend, how are you? So today, this is why, I'll tell you why it's so meaningful. Dr. Sheila Patel is coming up. She is the medical and Ayurvedic director, formerly at the Chopra Center, but now I guess it's called Gaya and Chopra. It's combined. And they have a more extensive yoga program. Anyway, she has long been with Deepak Chopra. She is part of his team teaching primordial sound meditation, as well as teaching teachers how to teach it. I was very fortunate to get... I'm good today, Anna. I'm very fortunate to have received training from Deepak Chopra and Dr. Sheila Patel and Roger Gabriel to be a certified meditation instructor, primordial sound meditation. Very, very happy about that. It's been a number of years. I've been practicing primordial sound meditation since the 1990s. It has been an invaluable aid to me. Hold on, guys. And continues to be so. Shoe number 1. Hi, Charlie. Charlie, I was just talking about you. I was saying in your honor, I was putting on my right shoe first. It was my practice of meditation. It was breath work. It was my yoga. It was, of course, miracles that allowed me to be a more effective caregiver, specifically with my mom, to be patient as she went through a long, slow decline due to Alzheimer's. You have to change I talked about this with, who was it? Lisa Natoli, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, one of our guests last week, how the course will help you change your internal dialogue, which you need to do. Nope, it was with Jackie. Our internal dialogue changes. When you are dealing with someone with any form of dementia, I don't really like that name. Patience is key. There's a wonderful line in A Course in Miracles that says, infinite patience produces immediate results. Patience is a practice. But we always practice what we truly are. Thank you, Sniper. Sniper has been a Member for 13 months, over a year. Man, it's hard to believe that I've had my members. I got monetized, and I was monetized for a while before I did members. Um, but here I am. I have that 99 cents one because I want to make it easy for people who just want to support my channel, keep me up and running, keep me well fed, and with a roof over my head, keeping my cats well fed and a roof over their head. So anyway, meditation, an essential aid. When my father passed away, I was his caregiver. I was at a definite loss. Didn't know what to do with the rest of my life. I was in my late 50s. I'd lost my business. I'd lost my cars. Joining the workforce would have been exceedingly difficult. Not to mention, I didn't want to. I didn't want to go back to doing what I had done. Hey, Praveen, all those previous years. You know, I'd already been there. I wanted to find a creative way of living my life. And I literally asked the Holy Spirit, what should I do? What does a caregiver do when they have run out of the specific people they were meant to care for? And the answer was, there is never a lack of specific people to care for. Caregiver is a caregiver is a caregiver. And now I am given the task of caring for everyone that comes under my attention, right? If you're here, my role is to care about you. So all the tools that I had as a caregiver, I wanted to offer to people. The breath work, the meditation, yoga, Course in Miracles. And there's my channel. That's what I do. I'm still a caregiver. We can debate my effectiveness, and people have. People have. People come and people go. Sometimes people leave my channel, and they're a little upset. But I simply do my best. I show up every day, 3 times a day, and do my best. Light showing profitable signs. What do you mean, Rowena? Is untenable gifts to hear. Not quite following along. So anyway, here's my channel. Here's the caregiver. One of the people that made it possible for me to... Hey, Derek, my friend, how are you? Guys, Big Banana is here. Big Banana is like a celebrity in my book. Just a wonderful guy. Pollution statistics falling. Well, that's good, right? That's good news. Dr. Sheila Patel was one of my teachers. And she's coming up today. She is author of a best-selling book, Awaken Sleep, co-author of a best-selling book. She is going to be here to talk all things sleep-related, a deep, restorative, a spiritual sleep, and answer some questions. She's an Ayurvedic health specialist. She's a Western doctor. She's a yoga and meditation instructor. And she very graciously is giving me an hour, maybe an hour and a half of her time. I hope you guys show up and hang out. Hey, MV, how are you? Let me read. I saw Tom's comment. I'm scared to death of what's going to happen when my parents leave their bodies. I like to think that I'm going to be okay. But if I'm being honest with myself, I'm frightened to go through it. I was deadly frightened. By the time it was for my mother to go, I was still afraid. But I think she was ready and I was ready. I had watched her lose part of herself on a daily, sometimes a moment-to-moment basis. You could, Kogo, thank you, my friend. You could look in, I could look in my mom's eyes, and you can do this with anyone who is suffering any form of Alzheimer's or whatever. They recognize what they're losing. They can't put a name on it. They can't give it a word, but they recognize that they're losing something of themselves. So my mom was ready. She had given up all aspects of her identity, and now she was just ready. My father was ready too. I would have liked a little more time, but he came home from the hospital in hospice care, passed away that evening. I just don't think he wanted to be a burden. Some of the last words my father ever said to me the night he passed away, within 15 minutes of him passing away, was he was afraid that he woke me up. He said, "Why are you up? I didn't disturb you. I didn't wake you, did I?" So I don't think my dad wanted to disturb us any longer. Not that he ever was. He was more than happy to do everything I could for my father. So Tom, I can definitely relate to that. When my dad passed away, the last of my, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was sad. I was lonely. I was scared. And it has been 4 years now. Guess what? I'm sad, I'm lonely, and I'm scared. I don't think we're supposed to get over things. There's really nothing to get over. In the absence of my father in my life, I will always be sad, I'll always be lonely, I'll always be scared. However, Thich Nhat Hanh, the great Vietnamese Zen master, said he can look at the palm of his hand and trace the lineage right to his mom. He can look at his hand and he has the presence of his mother. He can see his mother in the blooming of a spring flower and in the dropping of an autumn leaf. She's everywhere now. She's in his heart. Same with my dad. Same with my mom. Same with everyone I've ever loved and care about. They're not absent. So the onus is on me. Am I looking at an imaginary wall that stands between me and my loved ones and blaming the wall? Or am I seeing through that wall, knowing that it doesn't even really exist, and I get to experience the presence right now, nowhere else? My dad hasn't gone anywhere. My mom hasn't gone anywhere. All those I've never ever loved have not gone anywhere. They're here. Nowhere else to be, guys. Ram Dass said it beautifully. Be here now. Because honestly, nowhere else to be. Where was I? Coco, I hope you're doing well, my friend. So, Praveen. I know you can, Praveen. I know you can, my friend. Tom says, "I'm sorry for your loss, Yogi, no matter how long it's been." Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. It's been, I wrote about that this morning. I'll read what I wrote. Because it deals with loss. Funny how that it all sort of arrived together. And that's the name of what I wrote in my blog. My blog is headlessnow.com. If anyone ever wants to read what I write every day since 2000, this particular blog since 2011, without missing a beat. And I had another blog that I had since 2000. I've written every day without missing a day since 1999. I'll talk about that in a minute. This is called Arrived. There are times when I still feel alone and lonely. Losing loved ones through the last several years and with the present loss still keen in parting. Yet my translation of these life events have shifted. There's a different perspective given now. I'm no wiser than before, not any more enlightened, but I have gained an intimacy with a loving presence that is constant in its comfort. Of course, the Holy Spirit has always been present and it was only my insistence on a particular form that kept its experience at bay. But my years of loss have brought me here. They revealed a pattern of my own denial of what's real and true. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. These are no longer mere words to me, not just a passage in a book that offers fleeting comfort. They're now an active, living reality, a source of immediate recognition that what is real can never be truly threatened nor taken from me. Yes, only love is real, and it's never contained in a particular form or experience. It's here, now, and available through every moment of existence. My life is about noticing this grace, being aware of its thread through my life events. I've arrived at the only moment ever made available, here, with nowhere else to be. And herein lies the peace of God. That was this morning's writing. Funny how it tied in with this conversation. Coco, thank you again, my friend. Thank you so much. Rowena says, love never dies is when, remember, we are made love. Absolutely, Rowena. Thank you for that. Hey, Paul. Paul, how are you? Paul Jokes from Wales. Let's see. Our friend Hammer says, Yogi, I want to gift you some cash for the holidays. What's the best way to do it? Hey, radio show, I really appreciate that offer. You know what? Your presence has been a great gift. You've been a great gift. You are much, much appreciated. You're sharing what you've been going through. We just want you to know that. You have been the gift. Anna says she's doing well. Hey, Mustafa. Mustafa, how are you? Chad, how are you? Well, Stacy, thank you again. So, if anyone ever does want to help, I do have my PayPal link on my channel. On the homepage, description page, YouTube page, whatever it's called. I can never remember what it's called. Hey, X, how are you? Thank you, Sissy. Wow. Arrived. By Yogi Eric. That's me. What's up, Skits? Tom says, beautiful Yogi, very enlightening. Hey, you know what, Tom? The fact that you are feeling that keen sense of loss with your parents still here right now is a wonderful reminder to cherish everything that you have right now in this moment. They'll never be gone. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. That love will always be present. But in this form, in this moment, it is so fleeting. Don't let a moment go by. Don't let a day go by without telling your parents how much you love them. Hey, Chad. Question. I probably don't have any answers. I'm a hardworking, honest guy, never womanizer, don't steal, treat others like I want to be treated, married, raising 2 kids, right? But being told I'm going to hell still. Told by religious people. Yeah, religious people do that, don't they? But that's okay. That's part of their religion. Praveen says, I tried Sir PayPal. It's not working for us in India. That's okay, Praveen. That's okay. Again, you're someone, I appreciate your presence. Hey, Princess. Good morning, everyone. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day, too. So our friend Tom sums it up beautifully. Chad, if you're living with love in your heart and compassion for people, then I don't think you have anything to worry about. Just keep being the best human you can be. Absolutely. So here's the thing. You can experience hell right now if you were to join into those beliefs that you're living this beautiful life. And if you believe someone saying that's not enough, you are literally experiencing hell right now. But as Tom was saying, if you can experience heaven too. This very moment, you can experience heaven. The fact that you have loving kids, beautiful kids, a wonderful partner. The fact that you've built this life, all these gifts that God's been giving you, that's not an accident, my friend. That's heaven. You have created this little bit of heaven. Extend it to others now. Extend it with a smile. Extend it with good nature. Extend it with acts of charity. Not because it gets you anywhere, but just because your heart is so full of the gifts that you've been given that you can't do anything else but share it. Just keep extending that loving presence. And now you're in heaven. Remember, Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is within. So why are all these major religion movements saying, if you do this, you will get to heaven? Does anyone who's saying that seem any closer to heaven than you are right now? In the immediacy of a loving family? You're in heaven. Anyone pointing to a distant place, they're not experiencing heaven, but you are. Be grateful for that. And maybe just, you'll never convince people otherwise, but just give them that loving smile. They're going to know there's a secret here. I was supposed to send this to our friend Jackie, and I forgot. Chad, thank you for bringing this up, because I get to read something real quick. E. Cummings, one of my favorite poets. Hold on, guys. I don't know why I'm having trouble finding this poem. Okay, here we go. Here's the secret, guys. From E. Cummings. But this is how most people go through life. Chad, this is for you. We dance round in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows. 2 lines from E. Cummings. Most people in life, religious and otherwise, those seeking money for the sake of just having it, those who accumulate wealth without sharing, without having any concern for those who have nothing. These are the people that dance around and around and around in a ring, and they suppose that this is what life is all about. They suppose that this is what God wants them to do, if they even suppose of a God at all. More often than not, they have an inability to suppose, because, hey, if I'm supposed God, I either have to shape God to fit what I'm doing, or I need to quit what I'm doing. So we dance around in a ring, the ring of life, and we suppose. But the secret is God, the secret is love, the secret is who we truly are, sits in the middle and knows. The secret sits in the middle and knows. How beautiful is that? So Chad, guess what? You are sitting in the middle, and all the love that you and your family have, you are sitting in the middle and you know. Everyone else is dancing around and they're supposing. They are supposing, my friend. Let me read one more. I might read two more. I love E.E. Cummings, guys, in case you can't tell. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root and the bud of the bud and the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than the soul can hope of mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. Man, I love that. I'm going to read that one more time. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root and the bud of the bud and the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than the soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. Man. I love reading poetry, guys. I'm not very good at it, but I love reading it. Deborah says, my favorite gay streamer so far. Well, I'm happy that I could be your favorite. Thank you, Chad. Chad, I hope you find that helpful, my friend. We dance in the rain every day. Hey, Miss Flipper. So, Hammer, I hope you're having a good day. How was the drive through the Catskills, my friend? Anna says, I love reading poetry too, Yogi. Cariata to all, says Rowena. Chad says, Eric's words of wisdom so much more comforting. I've been there with you before, Chad. I went to a Catholic school. You know, my very first book I wrote in 2000 called Does God Have a Hero? My mom was so proud, which was big for me because I had never made my mom proud before. She was a teacher in a Catholic school, the Catholic school that I went to, and she thought for sure that they would want to carry a book by their former student. My mom was a teacher there for 50 years, that they would do it for her. And it was a book written about God, written about our intimate connection with God. That when we live a life of grace and of humbleness and charity, when we extend love to others, no matter their race, creed, beliefs, thoughts, appearance, when we do all of those, we are a hero to God. It's a metaphor. And the principal, who knew me as a child, said, nope, we can't carry it because it's a different view of God than what we teach. Weird, huh? Pavina says, people are not so tech savvy. Nope, I am not, nor intelligent. It's an episode to watch live on Horizontal. People think of themselves only in which they are more comfortable. With this is the main thing. Gotcha. Venus says the Southern Cross is overhead. All is well. The land is at peace. Beautiful, my friend. The kingdom of heaven is everywhere, indeed. Tom says, we love you, Chad. Absolutely. Thank you, Tom. Chad, one more thing. You have a beautiful life. And there is going to be people who are envious of it. But instead of allowing that envy to affect you, share the beauty. Sometimes the best beauty we can share is just a smile. Knowing that secret that E.E. Cummings was talking about. Because we're never going to be able to convince people. But when we have that secret, people start thinking, I want some of that. What's Chad's secret of that smile that he has when he's with his family, when he's so full of love? What's that secret and how can I get it? The secret is a life well lived. The secret is a life well loved. Love your life. Whatever comes into your life, love that too. So if it says magic circle, the magician is in the center. Miss Flipper, how are you? Hey, Kitten, how are you? Jay Indra, thanks for the rain. Hey, Jamie. Jamie, how you been? Tom says, radiate love. That's what a Bhakti Yogi does. No one does it better than Tom. Chad says, question. These really religious people say if I look at another woman with sin, that's all it takes to go to hell. Is that true? It is not true. It is not true. However, people can suppose that it's true, and they will punish themselves for doing it. They will punish themselves for, man, hey, Chad, if you were, God created beauty, right? One of the essential truths of God is beauty. Everything is beautiful. Who was the guy who wrote the song in the 1970s? Was it Mac Davis? Everything is beautiful in its own way. Everything is beautiful. Do you think if Michelangelo, let me use another example, Monet, I love Monet, the softness of his painting, especially the water lilies, towards the end of his life when he was losing his eyesight, and yet he still saw in his mind's eye the water lilies and he painted them. Do you think Monet would want you to look at the beauty of his water lilies and then say, but don't look at the beauty of my other paintings? Just appreciate this beauty. And if you look at the beauty of another painting, even if it's one of my own creations, you will go to hell. God created beauty for everything to be appreciated. And everything is beautiful, even that which we don't recognize the beauty in the moment. That's our failure to look deeper. Everything is made of light. Hey, Honker. So we can certainly create our own hell. And we create our hell by saying, oh my God, I did this, and God doesn't want me to. God has zero concern of you appreciating his beauty, or her beauty, as the case may be. Brahman says, I'm not sure how many subs you have. We can figure that out pretty quickly. You're 114, my friend. Well done. Guys, is anyone here not subscribed to our friend Raman? Tom says, thoughts on sinful action is. And, hey, doctor, remember that a sin mistranslated. Sin simply means to miss the mark. Who hasn't missed the mark? Do you think that you would be punished forever for missing the mark? Do you think God is so capricious that he would say, well, you missed the mark, you go to hell? However, you didn't miss the mark quite as much as this guy, so I'm going to put you in a place called purgatory. And you only slightly missed the mark, so maybe you get to go to heaven. Remember, we shape God in the image of our ego. And that's the God that we're worshiping. However, God is independent and doesn't even recognize the ego because the ego doesn't exist. Who you are is pure and unconditional love because you were created from a source of pure and unconditional love. Hey, Sinkbug. Hey, Chad. Yep, we always have such kind people here. Good morning to you and the family, Sinkbug. Bill says, squirrel is right. Do not lock away for others. Where only may go themselves. Not go themselves. Gotcha. Rama says, anyone see the new video from yesterday? I have not seen the new video from yesterday. But I'll bring you up. Hey, Hammer, are you still with us? You still hanging out? Are you on the road? Let us know when you're traveling, and I'm going to ring that bell for you to keep you safe. I didn't hear you singing, Raman. Miss Whipper says, sin means a perceived lack of love. and we can always change our perception. Sinkwick says they're not awake yet. Let them know that we were asking about them. Marina says, and the greatest of these is love, and no one has not loved. Doctor says, I meet a God and say, don't give me heaven or hell. Give me your last level and don't put me in your last level. Put me in our of the box. Chess says, these really religious people put me in the same category as a murderer, rapist, robber, womanizer. They use scare tactics big times. Yep, but Chad, you don't have to believe any of that. Stinkbug says, I've got to hit the road in a couple hours. Where are you driving today, Stinkbug? Anna says, I would love so much to dance with someone. Hey, Anna, right now in this moment, your heart is dancing with mine, and we're all dancing together. We are joining a beautiful dance together. Good morning, Kamari. Sickbook says she was proud of that outfit yesterday. Said I made her look tiny. Well, when you're 6'1", 190 pounds, I think you make a lot of people look tiny. But you did a good job helping with her outfit. Hey, Sarah. I hope everything is well with you. Sickbook says we made some good chili dogs. Awesome. Rowena says, I'll dance with you. Awesome, Rowena. Oh, just making some delivery, picking up some food. Charlie says, yum, chili dogs. Anna says, thank you, Yogi. Thank you, Anna. 6'2". So, sorry, I didn't mean to short you by an inch. Sissy says, I'm dancing with you, Anna. That's what I like to hear, guys. We'll wrap things up in just a few minutes. So, guys, I hope you come by and ask some sleep and some meditation and some Ayurvedic questions for our guests today, this afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Central Time. And tomorrow, we have a neuropsychologist who wrote a best-selling book, No Self, No Problem. I read this several years ago. How neuropsychology is catching up to Buddhism. Literally, no self. The self that you imagine you are does not exist. No self. When you see through that, what's the problem? Every problem that you suffer from, created by the self, that isn't even true. Sissy says, no look again, Yogi, going live instead. Finally halfway through with watch hours. Awesome. The other half is done before the equinox, before spring. Because you're doing things now that you weren't doing before. You're going live, which brings a ton of watch hours. People, we can bring Sissy up and we can watch a playlist. Miss Weber says, Root Sozi, yay. So make sure you put a playlist up, even for an hour. Anna says, thank you everyone for dancing with me. Thank you for the invitation, Anna. Marina says, bless you. Holy Spirit sounds happy. I'm here. Indeed, my friend. Marina says, the subtle art of not giving enough is also good. Sinkler says, I'd like to talk to the neuropsychologist. He will be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock, all the way from Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. Let's see. I was born in Pennsylvania. very familiar with Pennsylvania. It is in Butler County, so it's not far outside of. It is not outside, not too far away from. Nope, I was going to say Philadelphia, but it's actually closer to Pittsburgh. I was way off. Marina says, how can I put a playlist up on YouTube on my channel? I don't know if I can talk anyone through it. It's not difficult. If you click on one of your videos, that little panel comes up next to it and it'll say, give you options. One of the options will be to create a playlist. And create the playlist, and it'll ask you the title that you want to give. And then it'll give you all the options. Add this video to your playlist. So you give it a title. It'll guide you through the whole thing. To get watch hours, a playlist is essential, in my opinion. Todd says, have a good weekend, Yogi. Thank you, Todd. You too, my friend. That's right. It's Friday. 6 days away from Christmas. I was hoping to have a friend come up and give a little Christmas sermon. Our friend, the rational man, Ricky Alonzo, but I haven't heard back, so I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Maybe I'll reach out to someone else. Maybe I could get the Reverend Tony. I think he's probably going to be awful busy. Hammer says, bringing you all your mail tonight. Where are you traveling to, Hammer? I love Terry Pratchett. If you would like some fiction, one of my favorites is Thief of Time by Terry Pratchett. It's worth a squiz. Worth a squiz. Sniper's posted a carbon today. Awesome. Terry Pratchett taught me about L-space. He's a great writer. All right, I was going to talk about books too. I was going to talk about Stephen Pressfield. Stephen Pressfield wrote the book, The Legend of Bhagavad Gita, which is an awesome book. It's an allegory for the Bhagavad Gita. They made it into a Will Smith movie, and that was the big mistake. Nothing against Will Smith, a great actor, but when you make a Will Smith movie, you're creating the movie for him. He's just our vehicle. So it became nothing to do with the book, everything to do with the character of Will Smith, right? Always kind of a mistake. But the most important book, one of the most important books I ever read, Stephen Pressfield's The War of Art, which is obviously a play on the art of war. This is about turning professional. This is about what a writer, what an artist does. Everyone's an artist. If you have a YouTube channel, you're an artist. If you write haikus, poetry, limericks, if you just write in a journal, if you doodle, if you do origami, you're an artist. Your life is a work of art. Everything you do is art. Be mindful in your creation. Philly to Willing, that's a bit of a drive. To Harrisburg, to Providence, Rhode Island, U.S. mail. Hey. Hi, Selina. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Guys, if you're sensitive to sound, turn the volume down. I'm going to ring the bell. This is for safe travels for our friend, Hammer. HWH radio show. It's been a good friend. Safe travels, my friend. Prayers for safety. Paul, I'm so sorry for your loss, my friend. Paul says his stepmom passed away this morning. Prayers, my friend. Tom says, my deepest and sincerest condolences to you and your family. Absolutely. Yes, the war of art. That's correct. So he talks about, no, it's, I think he might have an e-note version of it, but the actual book. Excuse me, guys. Paul, you're welcome. Paul, this is for your stepmom, as requested by Miss Flipper. Thank you, Miss Flipper. Paul, prayers for your stepmom, prayers for you and your family, my friend. Everyone joining in the love. Thank you. I appreciate that. The war of art struck me so profoundly. Here's one of the things that he says. He talks about turning pro. A professional writer has nothing to do with how much money you make from your writing or any other kind of art, a professional artist. It has everything to do with your commitment to being a pro. A professional shows up every day and works. Do you think Beethoven skipped a day at the piano? Just don't feel like it, not feeling inspired. Mozart. A professional perfects their craft. My mantra, when I read this book in 1998, 1999, I made my own personal commitment to being a professional. I show up at my blog every morning and I write. My mantra was words on a page. I'm not writing for anyone else. The end of the day, start with a blank screen or an empty page. By the end of the day, have something down. Doesn't have any great meaning, doesn't have to be deep, profound, doesn't have to be loving, doesn't have to have a message. It only has to have the meaning that you showed up and did what you were supposed to do. You gave a commitment to your art and you stuck with it. That's what counts. Excuse me. Sonnet says, someone told me in conversation, every task, results, art piece, writing, whatever, is a self-portrait. Beautiful. I love that. Yep, it's definitely a pun. More of a play of words, I guess. Tom says he lost his stepmother 3 years ago on Thanksgiving Day. Not an easy thing. My dad hasn't been the same since. Guys, we're going to have to wrap it up. Can commitment be to both Christ and art? I think we could get rid of the word both and get rid of the word and. If we think of Christ as the ultimate light that shines through everything, how can that ever be separate from our commitment to art? Our commitment to Christ is artful living. Miss Flipper sums it up so beautifully when we talk on Mondays and we talk about forgiveness. Our commitment to seeing the Christ within another, creating with light. Beautiful way to go through life. Sarah says, so this is random, but what do you think of superheroes, Batman, Superman, whatever? I think Batman can take everyone in the DC universe. No exceptions. With or without prep time. Of course, Batman with prep time is undefeatable. I think that every superhero is a archetype for when we think of the shadow, we think of it in negation, negative, right? I am projecting my shadow, the darkness upon another, which is true. But also, the shadow is all the good stuff that we're unable to recognize within ourselves, so we cast it upon another in the light of being a hero. Superheroes reveal the depth of our own greatness, that we our own inability to recognize, so we've created it in the form of art. Miss Ripper says Batman got nothing on Catwoman. Roman says might watch your stream at 1. You got nothing better to do. Rena says, Anna, shall we dance? Shall Om. Sarah says he's got contingency plans. You're a good lad. He does. And he showed it. He proved it. Everyone's scared of Batman. Tom says even Superman is scared of Batman. I love y'all. Thank you for crying with me this morning. Have a great day, and I'll see you in a few hours. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to you. Lady Sky, my friend, how are you? Hammer says Stan Lee had more failures than successes. Think about that to everyone searching for something and struggling. Thank you, my friend. Stan Lee. Amazing, amazing man. And it says, dancing is bliss, Rowena. Amen to that. Ahmed, how are you? We're wrapping things up. Miss Pippa says, Catwoman is not scared of Batman, not even an iota. I'm standing by my statement. Everyone's scared of Batman. Because of what our friend Sarah said, contingency plans already in place. I'm glad you're doing well, Ahmed. But I get your point, Miss Flipper. Dancing, the best exercise. It's one of the best things we can do in the morning. Even if it's the music that only we can hear, it's a very Taoist thing to do. Wake up in the morning, bounce in place. Get that lymphatic fluid moving from the draining through the body. Dance, swing your arms, shake your hands out, get that energy moving, get the stuck energy out of your body. Hammer says Yogi had more superhero failures than successful ones. He has laughed at and ridiculed who won that. Yeah, he definitely showed through at the end, didn't he? Lady Sky says, Elaine dancing, Yogi? I am a much better dancer than Elaine. One day I'll prove it to everyone. Thank you, Sissy. And the dance went on. Dance then, whatever you may be. Beautiful. Thank you, Coco. Coco, thank you again. Plastic Man, you know what? I've read before, Plastic Man might be the most dangerous of all superheroes. He can survive just about anything. People underestimate Plastic Man at their own peril. It's one of my favorites. Frida says, please, Jesus, can you be Sully? I believe so. I believe that Jesus was full of joy and laughter. Radio show says, Yogi, I've been all over the world, the poorest villages. I'm Afghanistanian who knew who Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man were. Yeah, they're such iconic figures, aren't they? Love Spider-Man, by the way. I'm more of a DC person, but Spider-Man, Wolverine, I love Daredevil. Those are my big three. And Marvel. Sissy says Plastic Man, perhaps because they're non-biodegradable. Could be. Well, he's impervious. Nothing can destroy him. Guys, one last ring of the bell. This is for our friend Lady Sky. She's marking a 9-year anniversary. Of an event that continues to shape her. This is for you, Lady Sky. 3 times, then we got to end it for today, for the morning. We're going to be thinking about you all day, my friend. Love you guys. I'll see everyone. Come by at 1, Dr. Sheila Patel. I apologize. I won't be able to do a regular chat at 1 o'clock, but I will be looking through the comment section for questions relevant to Dr. Sheila Patel. Talking about sleep, first and foremost. Talking about meditation and all things Ayurvedic medicine. All right. Love you guys. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Anna. I will see y'all later.